Well, I've learned a long time ago that intellect stuff only goes so far, you know. I mean, I use eSword, which is a technical, analytical, electronic device that can just give you all the scriptures, and you can hit the numbers and get Strong's definitions and so on instantly. But that only goes so far. I have people write me all the time, and they say, "Ray, what Bible do you use so that I can understand these things like you do?" And I mean, I don't mean to be arrogant, but I think to myself, what? You think you understand the Scriptures by a better translation? You know? Actually, the translations that are out there are pretty good. All of them. People think, well, you're so down on the King James. Excuse me, that's a King James. Most of the Bibles I have back there are King James, and I have some that are virtually, totally wore out. King James, right? Granted, Aeonius does not mean eternity. That's not accurate. But then again, even Concordant, which is probably the single best translation I know of, along with Rotherham's and Young's and Weymouth and some of those, you know. But they have some crazy things too, you know. In the Concordant, when the disciples got together and broke bread, they masticated together. You know, what? Masticated? What kind of nonsense is that? They ate together. This is you're supposed to translate from one language to another, not give a word for word. You know what I mean? True, it does mean masticate, but that also, when you translate it, means eating. You know. But anyway, I mean, all the translation, it's in there. Listen, the gospel is in there. It's in all of them. Okay, it's in there. You know, the idea of burning in hell forever, as opposed to receiving chastisement that will correct you for a certain period of time. I mean, there's a big difference there in that, you know. And we can make those changes. Somebody said recently, for about the third or fourth time now, I think, said, "Ray, why don't you come out, since you're such an expert on Hebrew and Greek and you explain these things, so why don't you come out with your own translation? Are you crazy? An expert on Hebrew and Greek? I don't even know English, let alone Hebrew and Greek. I mean, I just stumble through." You know, people say, "Well, you think..." No, I don't. You lie. I do not think I'm some great one, that I'm some great intellect, that I'm a scholar, you know, or some great peer of academia. Or something. No. I've never said that. All I've ever said is I'm a teacher. Good, bad, or indifferent, I'm a teacher. That's what I am. That's the only claim I make. I'm a teacher. I teach. You say, "Well, you don't teach very well." Well, that's fine. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's a free country. But anyway, just a few words, few phrases that are wrong. All the Bibles have, you know, I don't care what Bible you have. If you read the whole thing, would you be of the opinion that we should obey God or not obey God? What do you think would be the overall feeling you would get from the Scriptures if you read any Bible there is? I think it'd be self-evident, you know. You have to obey God. Right? And you ought to conduct yourself with a certain morality. You shouldn't fornicate with your neighbor's wife. You shouldn't steal. You shouldn't, bear false witness against people in a court of law. And you shouldn't do those things. I don't care how stupid a church or doctrine, there might be. You can't screw those things up. Those things are in there from Genesis to Revelation. And so then you get down to, why is all the hocus pocus? Carnal mind that deceive people.